it is Shay Toya. And I realized earlier that I did a live, and for whatever reason, the volume, you could not hear me. So I thought I would kind of repeat myself real quick. And so I'm just super excited about what I'm going to talk to you guys about. And it is something kind of close to home to me. And so, to answer the question, why is life insurance important? So life insurance is important because it actually protects your family in case, God forbid, you die suddenly. It is a topic that possibly people do not want to talk about, but it is very important. And then honestly, luckily, I got covered with life insurance. I got introduced to our company at the age of 21. So thank goodness I got introduced to, getting coverage at such a young age. And honestly, at the time, I really didn't really understand it, but I thought I would go ahead and get it because it was something that we offered. Um, and, I did get it preferred because I was 21. I was super healthy. I was pretty athletic at that age. And so my coverage, at the time, I think it was about 200,000 for about 30 something dollars a month. And it could be less or more. And then now, my coverage has gone up, and it's about, I want to say about 300,000, 350,000 for about $30 a month. But to me, why it was so important that I got insurance at such a young age was when I got pregnant with my son, David. I actually caught a blood clot after I gave birth to my son. And it was a very scary time. I had my kidneys were shutting down. I had no idea what was going on with me. I was swollen a week after I left the hospital, and I had no idea. People were telling me that this is normal. I had no idea that what was going on with me. I never had a baby before. It was not normal. Luckily my cousin Amnesty, had some type of medical, background, and she was like, no, this isn't normal. Let's go ahead and set a doctor's appointment with your doctor. So, I believe it was like a Monday or Tuesday, and I got, finally got to see the doctor, and she did some blood work. And what was kind of crazy is that my cousin Amnesty actually called me and was like, hey, like, did you ever hear, back from your doctor? And I was like, no, like, usually when you don't hear anything, it's because I was good. There was nothing wrong with me. And she was like, no, 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 you should go ahead and call the doctor. So I went ahead and called the doctor. And when I called them, they're like, hey, like, honestly, we haven't checked the blood work yet. Let's go ahead and do that. And this was like Friday at like 4 o'clock. So they were actually about to close, which honestly was kind of crazy to me as well, that they didn't even check it. So they ended up actually giving me a call back probably about 20 or 30 minutes later. And they were like, hey, by the way, your kidneys are shutting down. Run to the hospital. And this is honestly was probably like the scariest time of my life. Them telling me that my kidneys were shutting down. I had a 1 week old, and it was honestly like it was scary, and I was very emotional. A lot of hormones. I had to leave my son and go to the hospital, and all I knew was my kidneys were shutting down. So once I got to the hospital, I remember the nurses. They were like, "Hey, like, how far along are you?" And I'm like, I'm not pregnant. My baby's about a week old. And then also, just to let you guys know, I actually gained 20 pounds when I got home from the hospital after giving birth. And I feel like as a woman, like it's like, why am I 20 pounds heavier? So when I got to the hospital, they were like, how far along are you? Like, I was like, I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm just super swollen. So they ended up actually getting me in right away. And then they did some ultrasound. They checked my legs, and they did some blood work. And then they realized that my kidneys were shutting down due to a blood clot. So luckily, my cousin Amnesty put me in the right direction and told me, no, call the doctor. Because who would have known, like, if I would have waited that weekend to find out that I had a blood clot, like, what could have been, what could have happened? So luckily, they found out that I had the blood clot. And, of course, I'm pretty emotional. I just had a baby a week ago. And so I had to stay in the ER for about a week. And then once they did some blood work, they ended up finding out that I actually have a blood disorder. And the blood disorder, and what causes blood clots with this disorder is pregnancy and hormones due to birth control. So due to that, I can't do any type of birth control or anything like that that has hormones in it. I can do the IUD, and that's because there's no hormones with the IUD. It's copper. Um, so to define that out, that I actually have this, and the reason why I kind of share that story with you guys is because luckily I got life insurance at the age of 21. I was super young, and because of that, it is super affordable. Plus, like, who knows, like, if I would have waited, like, after my son was born, who knows if I actually would have got covered. And I'm truly blessed that at a super young age that I did get covered just for that reason. And now I don't have to worry about it. I am covered, which is pretty awesome. And, it was scary. It was a scary week of being away from my one week old. I was away from him in the hospital for about a week. I was super emotional. I just had a baby, and my fiance Kevin had to work. So my family, it was a blessing to have such a great family that helped us at that time, during a time where you have this new baby at home, and it's like you wanted to be home with this baby. You didn't want to be in the hospital. Couldn't really bring him up because I was scared that being in the ER, you don't know what's else is up there. COVID wasn't around yet, but I still didn't want to bring him up there. And honestly, and I know this has nothing to do with the topic, I actually still pumped, even though for breast milk, I still pumped the whole entire time. And I actually had an opportunity to, because I pumped, I actually, stayed breastfeeding for about a year and a half, even, and all the doctors were actually kind of thought that was pretty cool that I still was able to um, breastfeed my son, even though I wasn't around him, which was great, honestly. And so I just kind of wanted to go over with you guys reasons why people should have life insurance. Hopefully your circumstance isn't as crazy as mine was, and I was just blessed that I had it. But there's some reasons why you should have it. The the person that needs it the most is a person who has dependents. If you have kids, it is very important that you have life insurance. That's the most important person to have coverage. And then also somebody who is possibly a stay-at-home mom should have coverage as well, because if something happens to a stay-at-home mom, like how is the dad going to, the dad is going to need, or a stay-at-home dad, that person's going to need to get coverage or to take care of their children while they work. So that is something that, it is needed. But another thing is, to leave an inheritance. When I got insurance, the only reason, honestly, why I got life insurance at such a young age is because I was focused on building a business. But what if I died too soon and I couldn't leave a legacy, and I wasn't where I wanted to be at in business? And, I would regret not being able to provide my family with why I was working so hard. Even though it might have not have been the amount of money that I wanted to provide, I at least would be able to provide them something. And also, leave some type of inheritance for my family. Then also other reasons why you need life insurance is to pay off any types of debts that you possibly have. And, I personally wouldn't want to leave my family with that financial burden. Like, I want to make sure my son is good no matter what. He's able to have food in his tummy if I'm here or not. And I feel like most parents think the same way as well. Just also to add more financial security, like being able to make sure that your family is good, as I said before, as no matter what, and then to bring peace of mind. And there's so many different reasons why you should have insurance. And I just thought I would hop on here real quick and just kind of go over, share my story a little bit of why I'm happy that I got life insurance at such a young age. If you guys have any questions on life insurance, I'd be happy to assist you. And I just thought I would hop on here real quick. Again, my name is Shay Toya. I'm just going to be doing these lives as I improve, just to get my communication skills up as well. And it's, doing a live is a little bit different than just doing a quick recorded video. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and message me, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day.